derived from a Swahili word meaning top secret. And this quote about Siri Kali, or this aphorism about Siri Kali, is attributed to Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of Kenya, who used it to characterize the nature of government. That the nature of government by itself is that governments respect top secrecy in terms of what they do. He also meant the idea that government work requires a lot of privacy, and government work requires a lot of security. And that's why he talked about Siri Kali. We want to use that to characterize our course on digital governance, because digital governance is about the governance of the digital society, or how we should control the digital society. It is currently a messy situation. There are many dilemmas about digital governance that needs to be addressed. We know that we are transitioning from a society which we have characterized as the third industrial revolution to the fourth industrial revolution, during which digital technologies are increasingly playing a critical role in how we organize our human affairs. So this course on digital governance will introduce you to some of the dilemmas that are facing humanity related to how we are to govern, or how we should govern the digital society that we are transitioning to. Now, the unique thing about this course is that we are completely going to follow a systematic approach in terms of how we address the dilemmas that are facing us as humanity in terms of digital governance. We will completely follow a systems approach. So in the various modules of the course, I will introduce various systems thinking tools to help us understand better the digital governance dilemmas that we are going to train you in this particular course on digital governance control. So welcome to this series. My name is Nixon Muganda Ochara, and I am the academic and lecturer for this particular course. In the first series, we are going to focus on a very, very important aspect of digital governance that is affecting our society. What we must remember is, why do I say it is important? I'm saying it is important because it is required in every aspect of life. Even our current lives, we all need what is called an ID, an identity. In many countries, they have national IDs or national identity cards. In some countries, they use smart cards. In some countries, they use passports as a form of identity. Now, in the digital world, there is increasing focus on digital identity. That for us to do commerce, for the economy to thrive in the digital society, we need to address the dilemmas associated with digital identity. So the first episode of this series will focus on the dilemma of digital identity. And for us to do that, we'll rely on a conversation. We'll use a real-life conversation of policymakers from the US and an industry practitioner from, for this particular episode, we will use a conversation amongst policymakers and practitioners to reveal to you some of the dilemmas that are facing us in terms of the digital governance, in terms of the governance of the digital society. And from these challenges and dilemmas that are facing us in the digital society, we will see how digital identity is anchored on one of the aspects of the governance issues of the digital society. So in that episode, we are hoping that when we are done with that episode, it will be clear to you what the digital governance challenges and issues are, and how some policymakers are thinking about the problem that is facing us in terms of the governance of the digital society. From their thinking, we will see the models, the conceptual models that they have come up with in terms of how to address that problem. Now, once we understand how they want to address the problem, you as a decision maker, as a policy maker, as a user, can see how their model, how their policy is going to affect you. If you're from another country and you are in a position of designing a policy on digital governance, then this course will then help you to actually design a policy on digital governance. It can either be in response to this conversation that we are going to analyze in this course, or from this conversation, you should be able to see what are the different alternatives available for you to design a digital governance strategy that is relevant for the digital society that we're moving into. So welcome to the course. I hope you enjoy the course. Thank you.